Has there ever been some time in your life or something in your life that you were doing, some endeavor, some task or some purpose or some activity, some exercise or some struggle or some striving that you felt like you were never arriving? Has there ever been something in your life that you felt to yourself, when is it gonna get easier? Like, when is this thing that I'm doing, when is this gonna get easier? You ever asked yourself that? I used to ask myself that, when is it gonna get easier? I remember there was a time I was in California, and this was years ago in Pasadena, and I used to go from Pasadena to this touristy spot where all the runners, the joggers, the walkers, the trekkers, the hikers, the people would go to this place called Runyon Canyon in California. If you've ever heard of Runyon Canyon, beautiful, beautiful place. You can see the Hollywood sign up there in Los Angeles, and it's called Runyon Canyon. I would go there with a dog. Her name was Manaka. She was a Shiba Inu, or a Shiba Inu. Probably my favorite breed of dog. That'll probably always be my favorite breed because I used to raise Shiba Inus. And I was walking her up Runyon Canyon, and it was, for the unexperienced person walking up that hill, the huge incline, like steep incline, it was severe on your legs, you're breathing, you're laborious, your heart is palpitating, right? Some people are trying to beast the hill, they're trying to run up the hill, trek the hill, and just, some people respect the hill, and some people are trying to conquer the hill, they're trying to crush the hill, right? And they realize when they crush the mountain, they've crushed themselves, they've crushed that idea in their mind, right? Crushing all weakness. But there was one time we were just walking up the hill, and then somebody just came along sauntering right next to us. They just came up and they passed us clean. But they weren't running. They weren't jogging. They weren't sprinting. They were just walking. And it was so smooth. It was like they just passed us by at a brisk pace too. I was like, what? And I looked over and I realized it was a gentleman that was on his phone, kind of like I'm on my phone right now. He was just on his phone and he was just walking. But the hill was like this. The incline was so steep that it looked like an optical illusion. It was like, how is he just walking up this hill? When everybody around was like struggling up the hill and bustling up the hill and hustling up the hill, this guy was just walking up the hill. And I was like, yo, who is this guy? I was fascinated. Not only because of his ability to just make it look easy, but because he was distracted. He wasn't even looking at the hill. He wasn't even watching his steps. He was watching his phone. I was like, who is this guy? So me and Manaka, the Shiba Inu, we kept going. We tried to keep pace, but we realized that this was a race. Like, we could not keep pace at his pace. So we started jogging, trying to keep up with him. He's still walking. He's getting further and further away. We're like, what is going on? We're jogging. He's still getting further away. We're like, okay, we need to pick it up. We need to pick it up. Let's go. Let's go. Now we start running up the hill just to follow this one guy who's just walking up the hill. And I'll never forget it. I finally got to the top. I'm like, I finally get to him. I'm like, hey. I call him out. I'm like, brother. Hey. He's like, what? He pulls out his ear pods. He's like, what? He turns around, he sees us, and I'm like, yo, apologies, man. I couldn't help but notice, like, how you walked up here like that. You just made it look so easy. Like, how often do you do this? What is your secret? And I'll never forget what he told me. He said, I just started doing this every day. I've been walking up this hill every day for like a year. And at first it was tough. At first it was hard. But then after a while of just walking up this hill every day, one time every day, just one time, it started to feel like I was walking on a regular street. Like the incline, it felt like the incline just flattened. And now it just feels like regular walking. I said, huh. And that's when I realized something. That it looked like it got easier for him. Because he made it look easy. But it never got easier. See, the hill never changed. Runyon Canyon never changed. The steep incline never changed. The terrain never changed. He changed. Everything else remained the same. So it never got easier. He got stronger. It didn't get easier. He just lasted longer. He was just able to traverse the terrain because he didn't remain. He was no longer the same. So in your life, my friend, when you ask yourself, when you plead, when you're wondering, when you're begging, when you're asking, when is it going to get easier? Realize it almost never gets easier. You get stronger. You get better. You last longer. So don't get bitter. Get better, right? You're a go-getter, right? You're a trailblazer. You're an energy raiser. Nothing is impossible for you. Like Nelson Mandela said, it is only impossible until it's done, right? If there's breath in you now, you've already won. Everything is a level up bonus. You have only begun. But don't wait for things to get easier. Realize the answer is in you. Continue, my friend. Much love. Thank you for listening. Hit the like button if this spoke to you. Drop a heart. Subscribe. Continue to thrive. Keep the breath alive. And may the rest of your life be the best of your life. This is Jerome Shaw. I'm your friend. Much love, and I'll see you again.